Asmadi Games has a title that's caught my attention, and maybe it'll catch yours. One Deck Galaxy. This is for 1 or 2 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 30 to 60 minutes. Your civilization has reached the stars, and your population is hungry for discovery. Explore, colonize, research. But be sure to build up your strength to be ready for the dangers that await. One Deck Galaxy is a co-op space civilization building game using only cards, dice, and tokens. Each card in the deck represents both location and space that your civilization is scouted, but also the benefits that it could reap by colonizing or studying it. These benefits increase your ability to roll dice and manipulate them, and help your civilization grow stronger. When the deck runs out, the era advances and your foe becomes more dangerous. If you're not ready, they may overwhelm you and send your empire into decline before it can become truly great. I like the fact that this sounds like a couple of different games combined into a small one-deck dungeon version of a style. So this is, at its core, an advancement on its predecessor, One Deck Dungeon, which is a game I love. I've done a ton of playthroughs on this channel for it, and I've played it off camera a bunch of times as well. I just really enjoy getting that game to the table, even though it's kicked my ass every time I've played it. And I've heard just as tough stories about this game here, but it's coming off of a great track record for me, is my point, and therefore that is catching my attention. And that's the first thing a game has to do for you to buy it, is it has to get your attention somehow. Now, in the previous game and its expansions, you're basically, let's face it, you're basically murder hobos. Right? You're kicking in the door, you're killing the monsters, you're taking the treasure, and that's about the bulk of it. There's not a real rich story generally involved. And it's fun. I like that. If I want to play a deeper game, I have other games, but if I want to play something like that, it fills that gap beautifully. Now, this is a little bit different from what I've been reading. There's more than enough hacking and slaying, so to speak, but it's so much more than that I've been reading, so much deeper involved, since you are building a civilization, and I love the fact that I'm going to get a chance to try this. Now, just like its predecessor, you have a game here where each character that you have an option of playing is different from each other. They have their own abilities, and I find this similarity to the previous game. And I like that. Any game where you have a real sense of differentiating between the characters. You know, it's not just you're red, I'm blue, she's green. It's not just that. It's something unique about each character you can try to play. And that also brings in replayability, because now you can try the game again and again and again with the different characters and their different abilities, because there's going to be different strategies with each of them. I do really enjoy that, and this game has it, so that's another point that's got my attention. This sounds like, some of the things I was also reading, this really sounds like a race. This is like a race between you and the big boss villain. What I mean by that is it's an arms race. That's what it kind of feels like from the things I've read. It's kind of like an arms race. You're trying to build yourself up as powerfully as you can before the end game, so to speak, when you're finally going to face off against the big bad character in the universe. So you're going to need to have acquired a lot of stuff, a lot of power, a lot of experience in order to face off with that boss. And I like the fact that each of these bosses then, much like the characters, are unique. So you're going to have different strategies, not only for them attacking you, but how you're going to have to try to beat them. And again, that's more replayability, sure, but there's also something, it adds spirit, it adds a sense of character itself to the game. It makes it that much more dimensional than a game where it's just red versus blue, and that's it. You can't do much better for villains in a game. It doesn't seem, from what I've read, that there's a lot of difference in the combat system of the game, which means it's going to be a heavy die chucker. You're going to be throwing a lot of dice down and trying to match up with certain tasks that need to be done to overcome encounters and aliens and the big boss and so on. I like that. I like games where you do that. I know chucking dice is a little bit too random for some people for it to be the bulk of the mechanic of a game, but I don't know what to tell you. I love the entire sensation of doing that. And so with the familiarity of it working similar to the previous game, I'm excited. All these things have me excited. So if you enjoyed One Deck Dungeon, if you've enjoyed what I've said, or maybe you've seen what others have said about this title, One Deck Galaxy, then go learn even more. Go see what everyone has to say about this, good and bad. And then, after you have all that information, make up your own damn mind whether this is something you think you should be spending your own money on. But for me, I know I love everything about this game. So please, go learn more about One Deck Galaxy.